Hey everybody, welcome back to the Factory Reset channel. Today we're actually not necessarily resetting anybody's brain. We're actually discussing an argument that is online in the jiu-jitsu space the way it's presented is that getting a black belt is harder than getting a doctorate.
Harder?
Harder.
Oh. I don't know I don't know my stance on that. Well, I've never got my black belt or my doctorate, so I don't really know.
Okay. That was an interesting reaction.
I wasn't expecting you to say harder than a doctorate.
Oh. Well, the reason that the comparison was made is because on average, it takes people 10 years or more to get a black belt. Mm-hmm. And a doctorate, you're not being helpful today. A doctorate, in a lot of cases, takes roughly, in certain cases, the same amount of time. Just roughly, right? Okay. It probably takes a little bit longer in certain areas, and definitely in becoming a medical doctor and so on. So the argument is that getting a jiu-jitsu black belt is the equivalent of or harder than getting a doctorate.
Why are people saying it's harder?
Because people are dumb. People are dumb. Listen, I'm going to be straight up here, and I'm going to be completely honest with this here.
I don't feel like it's harder.
Professional fighters aren't professional fighters because they're super duper smart.
They're not saving your life.
Yeah, they're not performing surgeries. They're, and this isn't taking away from anybody who's a professional fighter. I love you guys. That's part of my trade, right? We do this. But I can say I worked in the tech field for almost over a decade, and I am not a PhD. I worked with a lot of PhDs.
He's a nerd, that's for sure.
I worked with a lot of PhDs, a lot of scientists, and I worked alongside of, and I will say that they are very smart individuals, oftentimes so smart that they are very socially kind of dumb.
Sheldon's of the world.
Some of them are, not all of them.
If you watch Big Bang Theory, you'll know that reference.
Yeah, I've met some of them that are exactly like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory, and I've met some that are just very down to earth and really awesome. Yeah. But regardless, the amount of time and energy that goes into getting a doctorate, honestly, any degree, is pretty substantial. The thing is that it's such a dumb argument. And the reason it's a dumb argument is because the average black belt takes 10 years to get, right? And the average doctorate takes roughly 10 years to get. But it's not the same 10 years, right? In jiu-jitsu, I'm getting a black belt by going to class in the evenings after work.
Yeah.
I 3 to 4 days a week. What do you call it? 3 or 4 hours a week. Maybe we'll push it to 2. We'll push it to 8 because oftentimes we roll afterwards. We go in. Like I put in a significant amount of time in my training to get my black belt. It wasn't just like, I'm going to show up a couple times a week and coach is going to give me a black belt. No, it took me 10 years to get a black belt. But not including before, and that was just in gi jiu-jitsu. I started gi jiu-jitsu between 2006 and 2007, and it took me till 2016 roughly to get my black belt.
Okay.
Before that, from 2003 to 2006-ish, 7, I was doing MMA. So I was doing no gi submission grappling.
Yeah.
Right? I'd never put on a gi, but I was grappling, doing arm bars, doing chokes, all of that stuff. Before that, I had 4 years of wrestling. So I had 4 years of wrestling, 3-ish years of MMA, and then roughly 10 years in, and that's how I got my black belt. But in that time, I was training, a couple hours a day, with some days off or whatever. People who are getting a PhD are literally working full time to get a PhD.
Yeah.
You're not just like, a couple hours of leisure time in my after work, hey, I'm working on my PhD. It's like, no, you're literally doing work in the university as a PhD, as a grad student, most of the, many hours a day.
Yeah.
And you're working for the department. Sometimes you're working with your advisors. And granted, like some of them that I knew, especially that we're also doing jobs on the side, like they were servers or bartenders or whatever, and doing that on the side. But the accumulation of hours within that 10 years was significantly more for a doctorate than it was for your average individual getting their black belt after work, you know? And it's like, when I hear these things, I'm like, guys, these two things.
Well, somebody out there thinks that being a black belt is super special.
It is. No, it absolutely is.
To the point of their saying
it's
the same as getting a doctorate.
It's not the equivalent, though. It's not the equivalent as far as difficulty. You can say maybe physical difficulty, because no doctors that I know of are choking each other.
They might be.
But I don't know this. We have doctors at the gym. We have one of the only pediatric surgeons in the state of New Mexico trains in our gym. There's like two or three pediatric surgeons, and we have one of them. And when he heard this, he was just like, it's like, yes, not only is it the same as far as output, but they're not even like as far as time, but it's like, but the amount of time that we actually study, the amount of time that you're in clinicals, residency, all of the other things that you do, it's like, it's not even close. It's like, what are you talking about? It's
somebody on the internet thought it was.
I know, somebody out there was just like, it's the same. And I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, like, don't get me wrong. Being a black belt is prestigious. It is very difficult to achieve. Very, very few people get it. It is very substantial, I should say. Not taking anything away from being a black belt. It is a very difficult thing to accomplish. But to say that it's as hard as a doctorate to get is just straight ignorant. It's like, come on, guys. Like, and I'm a black belt. You know, it took me a long time to get a black belt. And in that time, I also...
If Rick can do it, you can do it.
All right. That being said, okay, one of the two of us is a black belt. The other one is a black belt in shit talking, and to me. But the thing is that everybody out there, obviously, it's a very, very important skill for a lot of people to achieve, is the ability to get a black belt. It means a lot. Even for that doctor, that pediatric surgeon, he achieved a black belt in jiu-jitsu recently. I think we promoted him in the last year. And he trained for a long time, put in a lot of effort into that, and it meant a lot to him.
Yeah.
But it's not the same. And it's not taking anything away from being a black belt in jiu-jitsu, because it is one of the hardest martial arts to get a black belt in. But it's not the same, guys. And we just have to realize that. So this is pretty much my take on this argument from an individual who is not a PhD, but a black belt, but worked with PhDs in a tech field and an aerospace field. It's not the same, guys. So take that as you want to. You can add your own comments as to why I'm wrong, why Cassie is extra wrong. And we'll see you guys on the next one. This is a ridiculous one. This is a ridiculous topic. I don't even know why this topic exists and why we're using this channel to discuss it, but I thought it would be an interesting segue from our normal to discuss. But this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, have you ever thought like, hey Rick, in your channel trying to help people with jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai and helping them reset their brains from all the trash that we constantly consume and deal with, you're gonna be going over a debate between a doctorate and a black belt. It's like, what? It's like, no, not gonna happen. I mean, maybe if Cassie came up with the topics or something. So anyway, we'll see you guys on the next one.